Yes, friends. So now this is my third prediction, right, regarding very important event which is these days going on. What is the problem? The problem is COVID-19, right? When it entered and when it will exit, that I have to discuss about. As I was promising, or as I promised that when in the previous lecture series or in the previous prediction, the first one, I told you that I will discuss about that what is the entry, what are the reason for or conditions for entry of any epidemic or earthquake or miseries, or it's a very ominous. There is some combination of planets which is very ominous, and it always causes what you call either pandemic type of disease which is spread all over the world or limited to a particular region. For example, plague was spread in a number of countries. Locally it was very active. For example, in England it was, I think, in 18th or 19th century, okay, or 18th century, I think. So it killed 1 lakh people there in England, right? So plague is spread. Why it was spread? What are the conditions in that country? Or what the position of the planets during this period when this epidemic is spread? Or earthquake comes, right? Or a world leader is dead, right? Killed or is murdered or whatever. So when a world leader, very famous leader, is dead or is killed, is murdered, whatever the reasons are there, or is sad demise, okay, that can be caused during a certain kind of situation of the planet. That I'll discuss about. First is that reason, that what is the entry of COVID-19 and what are the possibilities of these kind of pandemic, or when it will end. The second position I'll discuss that in India, what are the conditions of its spread and when it will remove completely, or what is the horoscope of India after the independence, or on the day of independence at midnight 1947, 15th August 1947, it was ending of 14th August and starting of the 15th August at midnight. So why midnight was chosen? Horoscope was made of India, independent India, and that independent India's horoscope is with us. Or I'll just discuss about that. What are the conditions here in the Indian horoscope when this removal of this pandemic or this COVID-19 is possible, or 100% possible, or then there are what are the best period for Indian, okay, or for India, in the coming years, and what are the different kind of possibilities during this period, whether invention of vaccine or vaccine may be invented, what is the period for that, up to what period it can be possible, right? So that I'll discuss about. So there are 3 topics I have to discuss today. What is the first, entry of the COVID-19? What is the possibility about that? Second is, what is Indian horoscope or Indian, as a country, what is the horoscope of India of 15th? And after that we are discussing about what are the complications, conjunctions, okay, or number of advantage or disadvantage of Indian horoscope during this period, right? And then the third, I will discuss about that, what are the possibilities of exit of the COVID-19. That is the point today I have to discuss about. There are 3 basic points, right? These 3 basic points let me discuss about. First is that what is that harmful conjunction of planets. The harmful conjunction of planets is that whenever the position is that Rahu, right, with Mars here, Rahu with, in this case, this is the condition here, Rahu with Mars here. So Rahu is just like Saturn. Rahu's qualities, or is varieties or qualities, you may say. Rahu's qualities are just like Saturn. They say Shanivat Rahu, right? Rahu is just like Saturn. So when Saturn is aspected by Mars, because Mars and Saturn both are enemies, right? Similarly, and Rahu's so Rahu is similar to Saturn, and Mars is similar to Ketu, right? Ketu and Mars both are similar. They are friendly because Jupiter, I'll just discuss about that, what are the conditions and why they are familiar, or they will influence each other in opposite or in beneficial conditions, and what are the beneficial conditions when they will help each other, okay, in positive direction, or will give positive results, and negative results when they are opposite. For example, this combination of Rahu with Mars and Ketu with Saturn. If they are conjuncted together, and because the Rahu Ketu axis is just opposite in the first house and 7th house, so 1 to 7 condition is there. Okay, so they are opposite to each other in Rahu Ketu axis. Naturally, it is 1 to 7 condition. Okay, the first house is this one. Now, this condition, as I have just described here, that Rahu with Mars, and Ketu here with Saturn. Saturn is retrograded on that day. Now, this condition happened, right? Or whenever this kind of condition, it started initially because Saturn was already in this sign. Ketu entered, with Saturn, or Rahu Ketu axis came first to the Saturn, or Saturn was conjuncted by Ketu and Rahu, or Rahu Ketu axis occupied Saturn. After that, Mars enters, right? So when Mars was entered, or Mars entered, on that particular day, the event didn't happen. But the beginning of this invention of this kind, or trials of the experiments by anybody whosoever has invented this pandemic, this COVID-19, okay? And I'm not going to discuss about that, who has invented this, nothing. That is not our topic. Topic is that why this pandemic has come into the being, or has come into existence in the whole world. The reason is what? So that is the main topic here. So one main topic is entry of COVID-19. That for that condition is that this situation, Rahu, Mars, Saturn, Ketu. As I have told you, that Saturn is just like Rahu, right? Rahu is aspected by Saturn, no problem. But when Mars is aspecting Saturn and Saturn is aspecting Mars with Rahu Ketu axis, this is very alarming situation, or you may say very ominous event happens at this moment whenever this kind of condition. And what is the resultant of this? I mean, result is occurred, or event happens only when they are in the similar type of degrees. When the degrees are just reaching to each other, or they are similar to each other. I just discussed that, what is that degree point. And when this condition happened, right? What is the date of that? And after that, what is the then it has spread all over the world, okay? Or this is a bearing type of condition. I mean, people are just bearing the virus of this and going to other places, and they are spreading to others also. Now, the condition is that this is the situation when Saturn with Ketu and Mars with Rahu. These kind of event, I mean, this position whenever comes, then and pandemic type of disease, right, or earthquake, or murder of a, or killing or murder of a world leader, or death of a world leader who is very popular, or who will be very popular, that is the condition always, right? This kind of event occur. Now, what is the location, and in which country it can happen, where it has happened, that is another point. We will discuss about that later. But the point is that this kind of alarming situation, whenever happens, this kind of pandemic or disease always occurs, right? Like plague situation. I'll discuss about plague, because plague 541, 542, that was the initial point, and up to now whatever data are available to us, that 541, after that plague started, and plague has up to now, it has just what you call affected number of localities, number of countries, and it is in number of countries it is still spread, right, or spreading. Now come to the point. So this point happened, this situation happened, and the degree of all the 4 planets, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn and Mars, when they are approaching to each other, similar degree when they occurs, or they are reaching up to the similar degrees, then the result occurs, or the fructification of the result, the fructification event, or the result comes out. But when this happened, it occurs, I've written down here, and this is 14th June 2019. This I have taken date of birth. So this horoscope I have formed here, okay, casted here. This horoscope is formed on date 14th June 2019, and time is 5:30 a.m. And this is very much good event here, that at 5:30 a.m. this Taurus sign has come in the ascendant. Taurus sign is here, Venus is there, Sun is there, Jupiter in the 7th house, retrograded, no problem. Saturn is retrograded, but with Ketu and Mars. So this situation, but this Rahu and Mars with Mercury. Mercury is not with the same degree, it is 3 degrees behind, right, 21 degree. Mercury is at 21 degree, and Saturn, Mars, Rahu and Ketu all are at 24 degree, near about 24 degree some minutes. I have written down here what are their degrees here. Degrees are here. Rahu is at 23 degree 41 minutes, but in Delhi, or I have seen here that at Allahabad's position is 24 degree. Position of this degree of Rahu is 24 degree 41 minutes or 25 minutes at Allahabad, but at Delhi it is 23 degree 41 minutes, no problem. Ketu is also with a similar degree, 23 degree 41 minutes. This is 23 degree 41 minutes. Saturn retrograded is at 24 degree 52 minutes. This is how this virus entered, the COVID-19 disease entered on this particular day. Whatever the previous trials or experiments they started, maybe 8th May, because on 8th May Mars entered in this Gemini sign, or in this conjunction with Rahu, Ketu axis and Saturn. Okay, so Mars entered on 8th of May 2019, June, like 8th of May. I have written down here that Mars entered. Okay, no problem. I have not written down, no problem. Mars entered on 8th of May 2019, but after that it achieved the degree 24 degree, and when it reached up to the similar degree of Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, then the result of that came out. I mean, the event happened, or in a dangerous move. So this situation, this combination with Mars and Rahu, because Rahu and Mars both are enemy, Saturn and Ketu, they are also enemies. Reason is this position is inimical, or Saturn, Mars both are inimical. So they are aspect to each other. They are aspecting the 7th aspect. 7th aspect, Saturn is aspecting Mars, Mars is aspecting Saturn, and in the Rahu Ketu also they are aspecting. Some people take the aspects of Rahu and Ketu, 7th aspects of both, and 9th aspect they take, 5th aspect they take. Sometimes they say that 12th aspect is also there of Rahu Ketu. Why 12th aspect? Because Rahu and Ketu both are retrograded. Retrogradation sign we do not write here, but they are retrograded. So 12th aspect is always there of Rahu. Rahu will always aspect is 12th house, or the one house before, that means this second house, right, or second sign here. So the before sign it will aspect here, right. This is one. Or the backward is that Rahu is always moving backward, is moving to this side. It will aspect the Cancer sign here. So 12th aspect of Rahu, 5th aspect of Rahu, some 9th aspect also take. Okay, number of views are there in this regard. So we are not taking aspect of Rahu in this case. Only Saturn aspecting, Rahu is also aspecting. 7th aspect is always there of every planet. So Rahu, Ketu axis, they are aspecting each other. Saturn is aspecting Mars, Mars is aspecting Saturn. Very dangerous situation. In this event, because Saturn, Mars enemies, Rahu and Mars enemies, Ketu and Saturn, they are also inimical, because their position are just indicate very harmful. So it's very dangerous situation here. This event occurred on the result, because they are at the similar degrees, 24 degree each. I mean all the four, near about 24 degree 52 minutes Saturn. Mars is also 24 degree 25 minutes. Mercury is at 21. Mercury is not so harmful, because Mercury acts according to the planets. Whichever planet is conjuncted with Mercury, Mercury acts according to that planet. Mercury's role is negligible, let me take, okay? But Mercury is here because it's some logic or intelligence. Mercury shows intelligence. Intelligently, this virus has occurred. That means people have planted this or planned according to this, right? Planned upon for making the weapons, or what you call biological weapons or something. So that kind of activity is indicated here, because Mercury is there. Mercury is showing intelligence. Intellectually or with planning, this event has occurred, right? The virus has occurred, this event has occurred endemic, this pandemic, my COVID-19 has entered. So 14th June, after 14th June, it is spread. Initially, first locally, wherever it has invented, the locally people were affected. After that, it has spread all over the world. Now in India, now this is the situation. Okay, so let me, other things. Let me take. What are other things? That this is the situation of the planet on that particular 14th June. So Taurus sign, Venus is in its own sign, no problem. Sun is also with Venus, but Saturn, because Sun is here, fourth lord, Leo sign, lord of Leo sign, which is the fourth house. So Sun of lord of fourth house is with or together with Venus. So very positive, but they are inimical. So not good position, but still it is positive. Jupiter is aspecting Sun, so Sun is positive. Jupiter is aspecting Venus, and Jupiter both are inimical, right? And Jupiter is inimical to Venus, or Venus is inimical to Jupiter. People just have the difference. They say that Jupiter has enemy Venus, but Venus has not enemies. Jupiter is not inimical to Venus, but Venus is inimical to Jupiter. So Jupiter denotes wisdom. Now here Jupiter was in the Scorpio sign, 8th sign or Scorpio sign. So that situation was not of invention, right, or inventing vaccine or going anti of this virus, but the virus is spread without any problem, because Mars is friendly to Rahu and Saturn. Mercury. Mercury is friendly to Rahu and Saturn, and Mars is enemy to Saturn and Rahu. So with opposite, what you call negative aspects, right? They have this event has occurred, or this and this pandemic has occurred, right? So pandemic, this disease has occurred due to this condition, and wherever this type of situation is very harmful, I mean according to the horoscope of that thing, that person or that place will be affected in the beginning. Okay, so that place has been affected wherever this place is, but this is India's horoscope. I'll just talk about that, why India's horoscope is of this kind. Let me now talk about what are the other conditions here. So let me talk. Mars entered, I've written down here, Mars entered in Gemini on 8th of May 2019, right? Mars entered in Gemini sign, or his third sign, on 8th of May, which I have already talked about, right? Then Rahu entered in Gemini. Rahu entered initially, because Rahu entered before, a month before, was 8th March, 2 months before. So Rahu entered on 8th of March 2019 in this Gemini sign. Saturn was already there in the Sagittarius sign. So Rahu Ketu axis occupied on 8th of March 2019, right? This is Rahu entered in Gemini on 8th of March 2019. So still there was no problem, because Saturn was friendly to Rahu. So there was just people were thinking positively that let us start inventing or discovering any virus which can affect others or which can work for us as a weapon. That may be the reason for this, because in the beginning there was a positive, combination of both, of Saturn and Rahu. So Saturn was aspecting Rahu, Rahu was aspecting Saturn, no problem, they are friendly. So the friendly atmosphere was there. But when Mars entered on 8th of May, Mars entered later, after two months later. So Rahu was already there. Rahu Ketu axis was there with Saturn, but Mars entered on 8th of May 2000. But it was its initial degrees. Whenever the result occurs, that result is when the maturity of or similarity of degrees are there. When their degree is just approaching to the similar degrees of both planets or all the 4 planets, that suppose 2 planets are there which are inimical to each other, and anything is going to, any negative thing will happen or positive thing will happen when they are positively aspecting each other. Suppose there are 2 planets which are friendly, right, like Sun and Jupiter, right, Saturn and Mercury, Saturn and Venus. If they are approaching to each other at the same degree, similar degree, when they achieve that condition of similar degree, then that result happens. or occurs, right? That event happens. That event happens when they achieve the similar degrees. So in this case, the similar degree was 24 degree 52 minutes, and this occurred on 14th of June, which I already described. 14th of June. Now, what are the situation here? That see here, Mars, Rahu, and Mercury. Rahu, this one, Rahu, Mars, and Mercury. They are in the same nakshatra constellation. They are in the similar nakshatra constellation. Even Rahu and Mars both are in the second quarter of that nakshatra. What is that nakshatra? Name is Punarvasu nakshatra. Okay, Mars, Rahu, Mercury are in, let me write here, are in Punarvasu nakshatra. And Punarvasu nakshatra is owned by Jupiter, right? Owned by Jupiter. And they are in this second quarter. Second quarter I've written down here. Mars and Rahu in second quarter, while Mercury is in first quarter, means 3 degrees before or behind. 3 degrees behind to Rahu and Mars, Mercury there. Mercury in the first quarter, and both Mars and Rahu, they are in the same quarter. See here, same degree on the same quarter. That means they are very harmful to each other. This event, so what you call, the negative thing happened. The result was very negative because Mars and Rahu were in the same quarter, same nakshatra, undoubtedly constellation, at the same degree, and because of that they are in the same quarter. Same quarter was second quarter of Punarvasu nakshatra. Same quarter of Punarvasu nakshatra are taken here. Okay, so this is very harmful situation. Same degree. And what about Saturn and Ketu? Saturn and Ketu are in Purva Ashad nakshatra. Purva Ashad, right? Purva Ashad is owned by Venus, right? Punarvasu is owned by Jupiter, and Venus is owning Purva Ashad. Okay, why? Because Ashni, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrikshra, Ardra, Punarvasu, Push, Aslesha, Magha, Purvavani, Mitrapavani, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaka, Anuradha, Jyeshtha, Mula, Purva Ashad. Okay, Venus. Venus is owning Purva Ashad nakshatra. Venus is the owner of Purva Ashad nakshatra, and they are in the fourth quarter, the ending degrees of quarter of this nakshatra, right? Purva Ashad nakshatra. Both Saturn and Ketu are there. Saturn and Ketu are in the Purva Ashad nakshatra, and Purva Ashad nakshatra is owned by Venus, enemical to Jupiter. And Punarvasu is owned by Jupiter. Got the point? So Jupiter and Venus, they are also enemical to each other. So the position is nakshatra is also enemical to each other. And Mars and Saturn enemical, Rahu and Saturn, Rahu, okay, they are positive, but Mars and Rahu enemical. Ketu and Rahu, they are also enemical. They are in the same quarter of nakshatra. Nakshatras are enemical to each other. Nakshatra means owner of the nakshatras. Why? Because nakshatra Purva Ashad is owned by this. What is Punarvasu? Ashni, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrikshra, Ardra, Punarvasu. This is Jupiter, KVS, Chandra, Mars means Moon, Mars, Rahu, and Jupiter, Mercury, and Saturn. Chandra, Guru, Shani, Guru, and Shani, and Mercury. So this is Jupiter. Jupiter is owning Punarvasu. Jupiter, then Saturn, and Mercury. Right? So Mercury owns the 9th nakshatra, 18th nakshatra, 27th nakshatra. This is Mercury. Ending. KVS means Ketu, Venus, Sun, Chandra, Moon, Mars, and Rahu. This is the 6th one. Rahu will own the 6th nakshatra. Then Guru, Jupiter, and Sun, Saturn, and Mercury. And these are the 9 planets. Continuously they are owning 3 planets. Right? Sorry, 3 nakshatras. 27 nakshatras are there. 3 nakshatras are owned by these 9 planets. Right? So this how we remember. 27 nakshatras, we remember them very easily. And who are the owners of each nakshatra, that is also known to us. That is to be known to the people who are astrologers. Okay, Vedic astrologers, if they are having the knowledge of who are the owners of the constellations and how they are enemical, then they can predict about the event very accurately. Now, point is that nakshatras are inimical to each other, in which these planets are posited, okay, or placed. In this situation, very inimical situation happened, very what you call havoc type of condition happened. This event is very much harmful, not only to one country where it was invented. I'm not going to name the country, but wherever it has invented, that country is harmful. I mean, this pandemic is harmful to that country as well as to other countries. Now come to the next point. So this is how Punarvashi Nakshatra and this Purvashad Nakshatra. Punarvashi Nakshatra owned by Jupiter and Punarvashi Nakshatra owned by Venus. Right? So they are inimical to each other again. So this is how Mars entered. Okay, now Mars has come out of this combination after 14th of June. After 14th of June, this event happened. After that, Mars moved to Cancer sign. On which date? Mars moved to Cancer on June 23. June 23 means in the same month after 14th of June, in 23rd of June 2019, after this event happened, then Mars has entered. So that event has happened. Undoubtedly, that pandemic occurred, and after that Mars left this sign, Gemini, or this combination, and entered to Cancer on 23rd of June. 23rd June, Mars left this sign, came to this Cancer sign. Okay, I mean, Mars is always, all the planets are moving ahead, means second sign, third sign, fourth sign, like that. But only Rahu and Ketu, this axis sensitive points, are moving backwards. That is important point we have to understand. Okay, because whosoever want to learn astrology, Vedic astrology, they have to understand each and every aspect, mathematical aspect, what is the interpretation of this, how we can interpret that, what are the conditions which are very harmful, positive aspects, and this and that. So every aspect, if you are understanding, then we can predict very easily, okay, about the condition. Now comes the next point. So this is Rahu will move to Taurus, and this Rahu will come to Taurus sign. As I have told you that Rahu is moving backward. I mean, in the second sign, first sign, like this. And other planets are moving to higher signs, right? Higher number signs. That as Mars has moved to Cancer, okay, on 23rd of June. And now Rahu will move to Taurus. Rahu will move to Taurus. This Taurus sign, second sign, when? On 24th of September. Rahu will move to Taurus on 24th of September, means in the next month. Today is 28th of August, right? 28th of August, this I have taken here. 24th of August is today. 27th or 28th, both are, because Mars was having, Moon is still in the Sagittarius sign. This is the present transit of today that I will discuss about. Okay, just after some time. Now let me take other things. What are the occurrence of this event, the condition for occurrence of this event. Now I am talking about that on 24th, when 24th of September, means next month, Rahu will leave this Gemini sign and will come to the Taurus sign, second sign, okay, or in the ascendant sign here. Now comes Rahu. Now what is the conditions of Rahu ruling over how many nakshatra? That also I have written down here. Rahu rules over Ardra nakshatra, Swati nakshatra, and Shakta Visarj nakshatra. Now these Shitavish nakshatra, Ardra nakshatra, and Swati nakshatra, they are in the Gemini sign. Ardra in Gemini sign, Ardra nakshatra lies in Gemini sign, falls in Gemini sign. Swati falls in Libra sign. Sagittarius, Shakta Visarj falls in Aquarius sign. Aquarius, 11th sign, right? Well, the owner of Aquarius sign is Saturn. Now see here how Rahu rules over these three aspects, and lots or signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And who are the owners of these three signs? Gemini is owned by Mercury, Venus owns Libra sign, Aquarius is owned by Saturn. Therefore, Mercury, right? Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, they are friendly to each other. They are friends to each other, and they are. Yes, friends. So Rahu is friendly to these three planets, which are the Gemini sign is owned by Mercury to Venus, right? Because Venus owns Libra sign, which is the okay, under which Swati Nakshatra falls. So Swati Nakshatra falls in Venus sign. Aquarius sign, okay, is having Saptavisaj Nakshatra. So Rahu owns these three nakshatras, and three nakshatras are owned by the three other planets, Mercury, Venus and Saturn. Because of that, these three are friendly to Rahu. Right? So now, and the Ketu rules over Ashwini nakshatra, first nakshatra, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Ardra, Purnavasi, Pushya, Aslesa, Magha, Purvani, Uttafani, so like this, okay. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mritra, Ardra, Purnavasi, Pushya, Aslesa, Magha, Purvani, Uttafani, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaka, Anuradha, Jyeshta. Then Mula, Purvashad, Uttarashad, Shravan, Dhanista, Satvishak, Purvhatpad, Uttarbhatpad and Revati. These are the 27 nakshatras. And they are owned by, as I have told you, nine planets that I'll just note down whenever I'll take the lecture series. This is production series here. And now let me talk about Rahu. Ketu rules over Ashwini Nakshatra, the first nakshatra. Then Magha Nakshatra, this is Magha Nakshatra. And Mula Nakshatra, Mula or Mool Nakshatra, right? Mula Nakshatra. And which falls in which signs? First sign Aries sign. Ashwini Nakshatra falls in Aries sign. Magha Nakshatra falls in Leo sign. Leo is owned by Sun. Aries is owned by Mars. Mars is owner of Aries sign. Leo is owned by Sun. Okay. And Mula Nakshatra is or falls in Sagittarius, ninth sign. Ninth sign of Sagittarius sign is owned by Jupiter. Jupiter is still or these days in the Sagittarius sign, running in its own sign, which is its Mool Trikona sign. This is called Mool sign or root sign here. Jupiter is very active in Sagittarius sign because it's owner of the Sagittarius sign. Sagittarius and Pisces, these two signs are owned by Jupiter. Now Jupiter owns Mool Nakshatra. Mool Nakshatra falls in Sagittarius sign. Sagittarius sign is owned by Jupiter. Therefore, Mars, Sun and Jupiter are friendly to each other, and they are friend to Ketu also. So Ketu is having friendship with Mars, Leo, Sun and Jupiter, right? This is how Jupiter is nowadays with Ketu. Rahu Ketu axis. These days Jupiter is running the present condition. So these are some basic points regarding entry of the, and this is the reason because they are enemical to each other, as I have just described, that enemical to each other, because that entry of COVID-19 is possible. This is the event. Whenever this alarming situation happens, combination, conjunction of these planets occurs opposite to each other, okay, opposite signs. Pisces, Cancer, Virgo sign. Pisces means 12th sign and 6th sign, Cancer sign and Virgo sign. In that way, 3 and 9 sign, Gemini, this is Gemini and 9th sign, this we have taken today. Okay, so now we have to just research upon these things, or whosoever wants to learn about this thing, then he has to know that in which signs this combination is occurring, and what kind of event is occurring in that particular combination conjunction, right, at that particular date or day. So that is to be very much researched upon. We have researched upon all these things. We understand that which kind of event is occurring. So in Gemini, this Gemini sign and Sagittarius sign, this event has occurred, which is pandemic or disease which has spread all over the world nowadays. Okay, so this event happened during this period, right, or during this conjunction. This conjunction is very alarming type. Yes. Okay, so initially I have discussed about this. Now this is entry of the COVID-19. How it entered on 14th of June, result occurred on 14th of June 2019. After that, it has spread all over the world. Okay, so invention of this or entry of COVID-19 has been discussed. Now let me talk about what is the horoscope of India, right? What the position of pandemic in India and when it will be removed, what is the conditions here and how it can affect Indian horoscope. Now India, when it was it got independent from the British rule on 15th of August 1947. I've written down here 14th ending and 15th starting, means at midnight of 14 and 15, midnight of 14 and starting of 15. So I have taken here time 00 degree 15 minutes and 00 seconds. This is time of birth I have taken here of Indian horoscope. India is a country, in democratic country I mean, at that situation, this situation has occurred here. So 00 degree 15 minutes I have taken on that night, 14th night and 15th of starting. Okay, so 15th of August. Why it was chosen on 15th of this August midnight? The reason was that one of the astrologers, people say that Jawaharlal Nehru was not believing in this. Undoubtedly, Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. He was against some Indian culture or Indian religious activities, all these things. He was hating all these things because reason was Ketu and Jupiter are posited in his horoscope in 6th house. So he is having that kind of situation because anti-religion, in own traditions he was there. It has been said. We have discussed about this in horoscope of all the Prime Minister we have discussed about. Okay, so this is now today I'm taking this. Now in Indian horoscope, so why this astrologer was called, name of the astrologer in 1947 was Sri Hardev Ji or Hardev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. His complete name is this. Okay, having four. Hardev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. His name was this. So he was priest and astrologer at the Ujjain temple, Mahakal temple at Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh. And he was so much recognized, I mean very much famous in those days, because he predicted a number of very good events, 100% true events occurred according to his prediction. So he was called for this event and he gave this Muhurta. He selected the Muhurta. Muhurta was, why? Because India became independent on midnight. Why? It got its independence at midnight of that day, while Pakistan got independent on 14th of August. Daytime, 14th of August, they started without any Muhurta and all these things, selection of auspicious time, no need of auspicious. The reason is this, that India is progressing, okay, prospering, no problem are there, whatever problems come, they are to be handled very easily. But in Pakistan, the situation is known to the whole world, okay, because terrorism is spread by the Pakistan, or is just, what you call, being reared there, or people are just, not having positive, what you call, sight towards Pakistan or positive views regarding Pakistan, as people are understanding. This is what the result of the Muhurtas or auspicious time is there. India's horoscope is this. This was made by Sri Hardevji Joshi, Hardevji not Joshi but Shastri, Hardevji Shastri Sharma Trivedi. His name is this. Now he is late, I mean not there. He is no more. But after that he started one Panchang and he's shipped to Shalon in Himachal Pradesh, because he was given a palace type of house there in Himachal Pradesh by Himachal king in those days, because before British time there was a number of kings in every state they were there. So it is said that king of or one Maharaja of Himachal Pradesh gave him a palace type of house, and he asked him that please research upon the astrology here in this palace, and he was given some land also. So I mean there was no problem to him afterwards, and he started Panchang or something. One Panchang is run by him, by his now children are running. So that is how the astrologer, who was very famous in those, he also predicted a number of events. I mean he predicted about Jawaharlal Nehru's death time, Indira Gandhi's death time he predicted about, and others events, number of other events. I mean even state chief ministers who will be expelled from which state, Uttar Pradesh, about Uttar Pradesh chief ministers, he also predicted beforehand that when this event will happen, then the expelling of the chief minister is possible in this event, on the same event that event occurred. So this is how that astrologer was famous. So I just have the good regard to him, because almost all kinds of Vedic astrologers, they have predicted number of events. People are not recognizing. Reason is they have just turned towards the Western type of thinking. The people whosoever are from different cults or different religions, they are always opposing Vedic culture and this and that. So because of that, those people who are still not understanding their own culture, they are just not liking this kind of science, because astronomical things are 100% true. Longitude, latitude, the planets, astronomy is 100% true. when astronomical planets or stars, they are influencing Indian people. Why life is possible on the earth? The reason is the planetary conjunction. The planets conjunction is of that kind that people are living on earth, not on Mars, not on moon. Why life is not possible? Life is possible only because of the proper conjunction of these planets. Now come to the point. So now this horoscope is made by Sri Hardevji Shastri Sharma Trivedi. Okay, so how this horoscope is being influenced by this pandemic. Now let me talk about this. Now here we see at 5:30 I prepared this horoscope, and this is the horoscope, that preparation. Same horoscope with having ascendant as Taurus sign, right? Why Taurus sign was chosen? Okay, Taurus sign was chosen by Hardevji Joshi. The reason is Taurus sign is a fixed sign. Fixed sign. Whenever fixed sign is chosen, the possibility of running something for longer period is good. Or secondly, the conjunction of all the planets. 11 Lord, I mean ascendant Lord is Venus, right? With Mars in its own sign, Cancer sign. Here 5 planets are conjuncted together: Moon, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, and Sun. Whenever Venus is conjuncted with Moon, then they say that there is a lot of status. Status will be increased of the native of that person. So country's status will be increased regularly, continuously. Okay, status of that country or the person or the native whose horoscope is of that kind will be increased. So, or Moon is aspect by number of planets in this case. Saturn is there, Venus is there, Sun is there, friendly sign, Sun to Moon, and Venus is also there, Mercury is there. So 5 planets conjuncted in the 3rd house. Moon is in its own sign, Cancer sign, is owned by Moon. So I mean, number of planets are there. So I have seen here that there are number of Dhani Yogas. Dhani Yogas. One is Bashumani Yoga. What is Bashumani Yoga? As I talked about in the previous horoscope of Mr. Modi. So in that, Bashumani Yoga is not there in his horoscope, but in this case, for Bashumani Yoga. What is Bashumani Yoga? When all the positive or beneficial planets like Moon, like Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, these are the 4 beneficial planets. They are placed in they say Upjay houses. What is the Upjay houses? Sanskrit word is Upjay. Upjay houses are 3, 6, 9, 10 and 11. 3, 6, 10, 11. These 4 houses are known as Upjay houses. 3, 6, 10, 11. If the benefic or beneficial planets, right? What are the benefic planets? Mercury, Moon is also there. Moon, Mercury, Jupiter and Venus. These 4 planets, Mercury, Moon, Venus and Jupiter. These 4 planets are placed in 3, 6, 10, 11 houses from Lagna, from ascendant. Here we see from ascendant, the Taurus sign, we see here in the 3rd house, right? 3rd house from Rahu, this Taurus sign, 1, 2, 3. So third house, in the 3rd house, we have seen here that how many planets are there? Moon is there, Mercury is there, Venus, these 3 benefic planets are there. So this Upjay house is 3, 6th house is Jupiter is placed. In the 6th house, Jupiter is placed. 10 and 12, they are vacant, no problem. But positive aspect, or beneficial planet or benefic planets, they are placed in 3, 6, 10, 11. The 4 are mentioned, but if any 2 or any 3 or all the 4 are occupied by these benefic planets, then Vashumani Yoga is formed. What is Vashumani Yoga? This is very good Dhani Yoga. This Dhani Yoga gives that kind of capability to the native. That native earns so much money that he is sitting in his house or in his place or at his place, and money is coming to him automatically. This kind of situation occurs in that native's horoscope. And this horoscope is having this Vashumani Yoga. I have written down here 4 Dhani Yogas. What are Dhani Yogas? Dhani Yoga gives wealth, lot of wealth to the country, to the native. In this case, 4 Dhani Yogas are there. I'll talk about them. And one is Vashumani Yoga. I've written down here Vashumani Yoga. Vashumani Yoga. And Jupiter. So Vashumani Yoga. So number of Dhani Yogas. What are the other qualities of this horoscope? I'm not going to talk about them because number of other yogas are formed. Okay, there are about more than about 70 yogas are formed. Different kind of yogas are formed in this horoscope. That I'm not going to discuss about because that is not the topic. The reason is how this pandemic is going to affect India. And when there is a relief or exit of the pandemic from India, that is the point of discussion today. So let me discuss about this point. What is the now? Okay, let me talk about Mahadasa also. Now Mahadasa is of what in Indian horoscope? Independent India, Indian independence chart. This Indian independence chart, or when India became independent, then India has formed democracy. So democratic country's horoscope is this. India is a democracy. Okay, so Delhi, date of birth, place of birth, time is 15 minutes have taken at midnight, and for 14:15 means 14th midnight, 14th night, and 15th is starting after 15 that are taken here. Now Saturn is starting because the Pushya Nakshatra, moon was in Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya Nakshatra is owned by Saturn. Why Saturn? Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigashira, Ardra, Punarvasi, Pushya. This is 8th Nakshatra, 8th from the beginning. And 8th Nakshatra, Pushya, is owned by Saturn. Saturn is the owner of this house. Now Saturn is the Yog Karak. What is Yog Karak means? Whenever Trikon sign and Kendra sign, central sign, are owned by a planet, that planet is known as Yog Karak for that horoscope. So Saturn is Yog Karak. Yog Karak is very positive for this horoscope. Why positive? Because it is ninth lord, in ninth house we are having 10th sign, Capricorn sign, and Aquarius sign is in 10th house. 10th is Kendra or central point, and ninth house is Trikon, known as ninth, 5th and 1st house. These three are known as Trikon houses. So Lord of Trikon house and Kendra house is the planet, if that planet is the Yogkarak planet for that horoscope. So Saturn is very much positive for this horoscope, right? Very auspicious planet. Is some people say that whenever Saturn's period comes, there then the miseries happens or problems happens. Not in all the horoscopes. There are certain conditions for magnificent beneficence of the planets, right? In this case, Saturn is very positive for India's horoscope. Whenever Saturn's period will come, India will prosper, right? India will have number of achievements. So this is one of the positive thing, that whenever Saturn's period we see, then positive event will occur in Indian horoscope or Indian, regarding the India's future or India's present condition. So Saturn was in the beginning, Saturn's period, because it was in the first, I think, quarter was first. So because of that, it got 18 years, about 18 years of initial period. Mahadasa is of 19 years of Saturn. So Saturn's period ended up to 1965. 19th June 1965. From 1947 to 1965. For about 18 years, 15 minus 7, 8, right, 18 years. So for 18 years, Saturn's initial period was obtained by in the Indian horoscope, but utilized by Indian horoscope. Now come to the point. Then Mercury's period for 17 years started. It ended up to 1989. From 65 to 82. 65 to 82. So 12 minus 5 is 7. 17 years. Mercury's Mahadasa period is 17 years. Saturn is 19 years. Okay, after that Ketu 7 years started. So Ketu 7 years started from 82 to 89. Same 19 June 1989. Then Venus period for 20 years started. This started from 89 to 2009. 89 to 2009. So 2009, in this period, Venus is Lagna Lord, Ascendant Lord. This period was very much positive. Some positive activities happened for the future of India, right? Or what you call number of exporting policies, they were there. Okay, and number of other things people came to know about. What are the other requirements for India? So the Indian situation just built during this period. People understood what is the democracy, what are the other things. We will talk about those things whenever we discuss about Indian horoscope, because I've talked about what is the result of this pandemic in Indian situation. That is the point here to discuss that. Now come on. Then after Venus period, for 6 years Sun started. Sun started from 9 to 15th. 9 to 15th. Because Sun is 4th lord, but Sun is inimical to Venus also. So in the beginning, whenever sun starts in the beginning, because sun and Mars, these two planets, whenever they transit in a certain situation or in certain sign in a horoscope. So in case of transit, let me just talk about transit period. So transiting planets, what is the condition when they start acting? So Sun and Mars, they start from the beginning. Whenever they enter in a sign, they start from the beginning, from initial degrees, right? So Mars and Sun, they start from the beginning. Saturn starts in the end, but Jupiter and Venus, they start in the middle of the degrees, very active in the middle of the degrees, right? Mercury starts from the beginning to the end, there is no problem. But Venus and Jupiter, they start in the middle, Saturn in the end, Mars and Sun from the beginning, right? And Rahu and Ketu, they are always very active, because this is sensitive, these are like sensitive ones. So whenever they have the conjunction of other planets, they have the activity. Or when their degrees are matching with other planets, then they are more active. That is how they are influencing. So this is the situation. So Sun period, when it started in 2009, then it started in negative, because it's inimical to Venus. But because fourth lord is also there, the fourth lord's position also will also occur. But in the end, when it ended in 2015, before that, the positive thing happened, that the scams government, which was causing some scams, that ended in 2014, and up to 2015, positive thing Sun gave. Okay, so this is how the Sun is inimical or benefic or friendly to the ascendant sign. So ascendant sign Venus is lord of ascendant sign Taurus, and Sun is enemy to Venus. But because it's fourth lord is Kendra Lord is posing the position. So when the sun's ending period was in 2015, up to that, the position of status of India rose up to a lot of things. I mean, it was more popular than before in other countries. Internationally, the victory of India, or the position of India was improved upon up to 2015, because the planet Sun sold that position. Fourth house is position, vehicles, property, etc. Property increased, position of India increased before the world eyes in 2015, up to 2015, because in the ending period Sun gave positive results. But in the beginning of 2009, when it started, 9 to 15, right, from 2009 to 2015, 9 to 14, up to 14, lot of miseries happened, lot of other things, scams and all those things. I'm not going to talk about all those scams, but these negative things happened because Sun is enemy to the Lagna Lord, ascendant Lord. So Lagna Lord was ill famous, or made ill famous, okay, because always negative things happens when inimical planets are there. But in the beginning, but because it's holding the fourth or owning the fourth house also, so the positive thing happened, that in the end of this period, it gave positive result, changed the government of scams, and after that, some positive actions were taken. Positive actions were yoga made internationally very popular. Number of other things, status of India improved upon in this period, in the beginning of this period. After that, moon period had started. Now moon is in its own sign, third house. In the third house, moon is in its own sign, Cancer sign. Right? So it will be positive, because moon and Venus, they are not so inimical. Moon is not inimical to any planet. It gives, okay, it helps, or it gives whatever the condition of that planet is there. So the Venus is owner of this house. So moon will give positive results to this house, this horoscope. So moon period is very beneficial for India's development. What is moon period? The moon period started from, this is moon period. The moon period will remain up to 19 June 2025. Okay. So moon period, this is moon period, up to, is running from 2015 to 2025 for 10 years. Mahadasha period of moon is for 10 years. For 10 years, now moon has moon period is running. These days moon period is running. Okay, this is how moon is positive to this horoscope, because moon is in its own sign. Cancer sign is owned by moon, and with Lagna Lord also, so it's very positive, right? And its status will be improved upon during this period. Why? Because when Venus is conjuncted with moon, or moon is conjuncted with Venus, or Venus is aspecting moon, then the status of that native will improve upon. During this period of moon, the status of the country will improve upon with higher degree, you may say. This is how moon period there. After that moon period, Mars period for 7 years will come. Mars is inimical to this house, this horoscope. That is there, but that will last up to 2032 for 7 years. Okay, but Mars is there with other planets. Mars is here, also Mars in the second house, Gemini sign, right? So Mars is aspecting the 8th house, which is 8th sign, 8th house, 9th sign, Sagittarius, positive. So discoveries, okay, number of other things will be invented, or research work will improve upon this, because 8th house represents the research work, and all those discoveries, maybe something is unearthed. Okay, so digging of anything will come out. Because Mars is aspecting, so during the Mars period, lot of digging, lot of inventions, and all those things can happen. Okay, so that is the period. Mars period will be there 2032 up to 2032 for 7 years. Mahadasha period of Mars is for 7 years. So from 25 to 32, Mars period will be there. After that, Rahu period for 18 years. For 18 years, Rahu period will be 32 to 50, 2050. Okay, up to that, Rahu period will last. Mahadasha period. During this, number of other periods of planets, smaller period of different planets, because there are 5 periods: Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratindasha, Sukshmadasha, Pranadasha. These 5 periods are there of different planets. So during that, but which planet is positive, how this positive result will occur or not occur, that is how prediction depends upon. That I am not going to discuss about, because I have to discuss about that what is the result of this pandemic to India. Now come to the next point. So this is how Mahadasha will run for this India's horoscope, and after that Rahu for 18 years up to 50, after that 16 years for Jupiter. So up to 2066 Jupiter period will be there. Now come to the next thing. Okay, that what is the position of the planets or this pandemic in this horoscope, right? This pandemic period, because Jupiter is nowadays, Jupiter is in its own sign, Sagittarius sign, but with Ketu or Rahu Ketu axis. Now, and Venus is in the Gemini sign, second house. This is present condition, transit of the planets. Transit of planet means what is the position of the planet today. Okay, on 28th of August, this is the position. Mars, Mars is in Aries sign. Here it is Mars, are not written down. Here is Mars. Mars is in Aries sign, no problem. And Rahu and Venus, they are together in the Gemini sign. Rahu and Venus, sorry, Jupiter, Ketu and Moon, they are together. 3 plus 2, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Where is Saturn is there? Saturn is Capricorn in its own sign, but Saturn is retrograde, Vakri, retrograde, coming backward, means aspecting the 8th house also. When Saturn will become direct, after that Saturn will not aspect Jupiter. Now Jupiter in its own sign, Sagittarius sign, is very much discovery type. Okay, is discovering something, is inventing something. So invention or discovery of what is called vaccine or antivirus thing, right? Anything which is going to improve upon this pandemic can be invented during this period. Jupiter is in its own sign in the 8th house of Indian horoscope. So Indians can invent vaccine. The possibility is there. What is the situation here? Nowadays, a lot of experiments may be going on or are going on under the Rahu and Venus and Jupiter inimical aspect is there. So struggle is still continue, is not improving upon, is not improved upon. No invention is still there. People are just experimenting. A lot of experiments may be there. Because Jupiter and Venus, they are mostly experimental type of planet. Jupiter is experimental type, not Venus. Venus is mostly pleasure loving or TV or media, etc. It is represented by Venus. So I'm not talking about Venus. Okay, so this positive sign. So when Jupiter will be direct position is there, then invention will be very much fruitful. But Saturn is still aspecting it. So when Saturn will become direct, then this Jupiter is in its own sign, and Jupiter is here in Sagittarius up to what sign? When Jupiter will be direct on 14th of September, next month, 14th of September, Jupiter will be direct, means it is not in retrograde, that is more powerful. Okay, that is the situation, means discovery or invention of vaccine is possible, but still Saturn is aspecting. When Saturn will be direct? Saturn will be direct on 29th of September, means in the same month, next month, 29th of September. When after 29th of September you will see that a discovery or invention of vaccine is possible. Reason is then Jupiter will be very much positive in its own sign, 8th house for India. So Indians can discover this vaccine for this pandemic after 29th of September, because after 29th of September Saturn will become direct, and now this is direct, will be direct till 29/09, and Jupiter is here in this sign, in this Sagittarius sign, up to November. Jupiter will be here up to, I think, November 20th November. I have written down. This Jupiter is here. Okay, so Jupiter will remain in Sagittarius sign up to 20th of November 2020. So up to 20th of November, means before 21st of November, discovery or invention of vaccine is possible. Is 100% possible. I mean, because Venus is going to just shift to the Cancer sign. Venus will not oppose this combination. Rahu will shift to this 24th of September next month. Rahu is also shifting to Taurus sign. Rahu will come here in the Taurus sign, in second sign, on 24th of next month, 24th of September, and Venus will shift to this sign. Okay, Venus is till 31st of August, means up to only in the end of this month, 31st of August, Venus is in this Gemini sign. After that, Venus will shift. Rahu Ketu axis is still there. So up to 24th of next month, Rahu Ketu axis will shift to the Lagna ascendant. Then Jupiter is free. Jupiter is in its own sign, positive. Okay, in its own sign, but Jupiter will become direct on 14th of September. Already Jupiter will be direct, but still Rahu Ketu axis is there. Rahu and Ketu will shift to Taurus sign and Scorpio sign, 8th sign in the Lagna and 7th house. Rahu Ketu axis will come. So Jupiter will remain alone, but still Saturn is aspecting. So Saturn will shift, will become direct on 29th of September, means in the next month, ending of 29th, ending of that month, means 29th September. Saturn will be direct. After that, Saturn is not aspecting the previous house. Whenever Saturn, any planet is retrograde, is Bakri, is aspecting the previous house. So he is still, Saturn is aspecting Jupiter, is influencing Jupiter of, giving negative aspect to this, or is this neutral? Both are neutral, undoubtedly. They are not influencing so much, but still it is inimical to this one. Means neutral means is not friend, not enemy, but still aspect. Saturn's aspect on Jupiter is not good. So in this case, Saturn is aspecting God, it is retrograde. When Saturn will be direct, then that aspect on Jupiter will not be there. Then Jupiter is alone, having wisdom, lot of wisdom. It will be very active, and after that, invention is possible. Invention after 29th of September up to November, 20th November, Jupiter is still there in this sign, in his own sign. Sagittarius sign is owned by, this 9th sign is owned by Jupiter. Jupiter will be in his own sign and can invent vaccine. Vaccine invention is possible, 100% possible during this period from September 29 to November 20, 2020. Okay, so November, September, October, November. These 2.5 months or 1.5 months. Okay, means mostly two months, 1.5 months. 29th September to means October, complete month, and 20 days more. So 1.5 months we may say. Okay, 1 month, 20 days. So this is the period in which Jupiter will be alone in his own sign, will be so much active in the 8th house is for research work. It will do a lot of research. Vaccine is possible in that period. Wearable, this position or Jupiter after this position, I mean this can happen in other country also. So possibility of invention of this and exit of this possible after that. So but influence of this whole pandemic will still be remembered by the people. There is no doubt about it. What the best period for this India's horoscope? That are written down here. What the best period? This is a good period for India. Moon, Saturn, Moon, Venus. Venus is Lagna Lord. This period is on 23rd September, means next month, when the Rahu Ketu axis will be shipped on 24th next day. So on 23rd to 1st of October, 23rd of September to 1st October, means for 8 days, very good period will come, because this period is owned by, I mean Venus means Moon, Saturn, Moon, again Venus. This period, and last Venus will be replaced by Sun, etc. But Sun only, Venus then Sun will come. So Sun and Venus will end up to 1st of October. This is the period, 23rd September to 1st of October. This is very good period. In this position, I mean India will be improved upon all the what do you call, the treatment of the pandemic. Number of people will be improved upon, and disease will be improved upon. There will be no, still the problem is there, because this is enemical situation with Rahu Ketu. Venus is Rahu and Venus friendly, no problem, but their Jupiter and Ketu are friend, but they are opposing each other. Means Venus and Jupiter, they are enemical to each other, so they are opposing. So still problem is there. Number of patients is being increased. The reason is this, it is still working upon negatively, right? But positive will be when after 29th of September, in the next month, when Rahu Ketu axis will be shifted. Before that 24th of September, after that Rahu Ketu will shift, and 29th of September Saturn will become direct. It will not influence Jupiter. Jupiter will be alone. Jupiter is already direct on 14th of September. Then the event will improve. What are the good days for India? Then Moon, Mercury will start on 19th of April, I think. January, February, March, April. Yeah, fourth month, 19th of April, 2021. Right. This period will also be auspicious one. Mercury is for 5th lord as well as 2nd lord, so positive and friendly to the Lagna lord. So because of that, it's positive result. I mean positive period from 19th April 21 to 19th 04/2023. In between, Ketu's period will also come, but after Mercury, Ketu will come, right? Ketu, then Venus is Lagna lord. So Moon, Venus period is very auspicious. It will start from 19th/4/2023, 23 to 18/06/2025. This is very good period for India, right? This good period for India will be utilized, and up to that period, pandemic is, I mean, going to just eliminated after 29th of September. Just imagine that after 29th September, invention of this vaccine is possible, 100% possible, because Jupiter will be in the 8th house in the own sign, and it is just inventing type of planet, wisdom type of planet. So a lot of wisdom will be there in the person who is going to invent the vaccine, right? So this is the period here, right? This I have talked about, that here the good period for India's horoscope. This I have taken here, because good period for India's horoscope for India from this Taurus sign I have taken here. So this period is, now Moon period is running up to 25. So during this period up to 25, what are the good periods? So during these good periods, India will improve upon, the fame of India will improve upon, that maybe because of the vaccine invention or something from India. Okay, that is how this whole thing I have discussed about. So India's horoscope is must. We have to, whenever you want to know about the result of that pandemic or any disease or anything, then we have to know that what is the condition of that. Because others countries' horoscopes I do not have. I do not know that when those countries position, but position of the planets we can imagine that this position of the planet will create havoc or will be very harmful, will be what we call ominous one, very ominous one. Ominous means very not so much good. Is very ominous. Okay, a king will die or leader, a famous leader will die. This and that. So earthquake will occur. Disease, but in this case, disease has happened. The reason is this. Okay, for this malefic position, whenever will occur, right? Mars with Rahu, Saturn with Ketu, in Rahu Ketu axis, Mars and Saturn will come opposite to each other, and this I have observed number of events. Okay, because if I just discuss about number of historical events, for that India's horoscope is to be known. Now Varam here says that India's horoscope is having ascendant Capricorn. Right? Before India's independence, India's horoscope was discussed with Capricorn as the ascendant sign, right? Capricorn, 10th sign, which is owned by Saturn. So with the help of that Saturn, I mean Saturn's ownership of the ascendant lord, ascendant sign, okay, the predictions about India was done by Varamir. Varamir made this Capricorn as the ascendant of the Indian horoscope. So India was discussed about, predicted about India's events with the help of Capricorn as ascendant sign. Here it is Taurus sign, two number, but before that, independent, India's horoscope was discussed with the help of 10th sign. That is also very important, because all those events, attacks of the invaders like Temur Lung, Mahmud Ghaznavi, all those events, historical events if I take, it may take a number of days, number of things, that were the situation of those planets in those days. That can also be we have discussed over this. I have a number of events, because I remember I studied Indian history for IAS examination. So for that, in that situation, for 2 or 3 years, I studied Indian history. So I know that what are the events or days, the months in those periods. Okay, the events occurred. Right, Babur's invasion, Panipat, first battle of Panipat. Some say that it was on 14th of January, Makar Sankranti day. Okay, as history teachers say, and some say other day. So on the particular days, what was the situation of the position of the planets in Indian horoscope, Capricorn as a ascendant, for the position of the planets, we have discussed that also. A lot of things are there. I mean, we can just imagine that how the situation was there in that locality. We took the Delhi's or Panipat's, as the place of birth. If we take Panipat, then what is the horoscope of the country in those days of northern India? So northern India was mostly influenced by invaders, not South India. South India, West India, no. But only northern India, northern place, Delhi including Panipat, Punjab, these areas, up to Himachal Pradesh also, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and all these areas, northern India was influenced by invaders mostly. So we have to take Delhi as the center, either okay, place of birth, or Panipat as place of birth, because Battle of Panipat are 3. First Panipat, then Babur, after that Hemu, etc., and then Hamasa Abdali. Okay, so all those events we have discussed about. If we have the date of event, and during that period, what is the situation of the planets, conjunction of the planets in those days in Indian horoscope, and because of that, these bad events occurred. Okay, or massacre of the people occurred. People were killed, and what is the situation of the World War First, World War Second, World War First, during 1914 to 1918, World War First started. So during that period, in the beginning, okay, because whenever the beginning starts, battle occurs or war occurs, in that situation, the condition of the planets, force the people to involve in that kind of situation or that kind of things. Right? So war also, whenever international wars or world war. World War First, World War Second, 1939 to 45, 1945. From 1939 to 45, what the situation of the planets in those days, and what the position of the condition of the position of planets in the horoscope of India or the horoscope of other countries, because India was also involved in, Indian people were involved in World War First, World War Second also, because Britishers were ruling in those days, and they took number of Indians killed during this period, because they wanted that British will leave India. So because of that, we have to, because the leaders of those days, they asked the people that help Britishers to fight against other countries involved in World War First and World War